So we all heard the saying, not your keys, not your crypto. And that's very important. You want to take self-custody of your cryptocurrency. Never trust all your hard-earned crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever it may be, and leave it all on the exchange. Because while it's easy and convenient, it comes with a lot of risks because those exchanges, they do not guarantee your funds. While on the other hand, if you take self-custody of it on a hardware wallet, such as Ledger, for example, like this one, I have 3 of them over here, you are in charge. You have the keys to access your wallet anytime, any place you wish. And that's super, super powerful. And that's why in this video, I want to talk to you about which is my favorite Ledger hardware wallet. Now, obviously, there are many different manufacturers out there, but Ledger over the years has really become the go-to hardware wallet out there that I personally trust my funds with. But there are quite a few to choose from. And that's why in this video, I'm going to go through, obviously having experienced a few of them myself, and share with you my honest opinion, which one may be best for you. Right, so here we are on the Ledger website, and make sure when you plan to buy your Ledger, don't buy it from a reseller or even Amazon.com, because I heard a lot of dodgy stories where people receive fake Ledger devices. You think it's a new device, but actually it's already a setup device and they'll be able to drain your funds. So make sure you only order from the official Ledger website. You can use my link in the description down below or scan the QR code on the screen and you come to the actual Ledger website. I have a partnership with them. You can see they actually mention my name over here, which is nice. I've been working with them for a while because I also trust them with my own funds. And on top of it, you will also get some nice discounts on some of them, plus free Bitcoin up to $80, depending on which one you purchase with my link. So definitely, if you're interested, check it out. Now you can see right now, Ledger actually has 5 main devices that they're selling. In the beginning, when I started off, it was only 1, then 2. So they kept on adding more and more to the mix. They develop and evolve as a company. This is what we want to be seeing. And also I like that they kind of rebranded almost in a way from Ledger Wallet to Ledger Signers, because it's actually true, right? You sign a transaction on the blockchain. So these devices help you, enable you to sign those transactions. So it kind of makes sense. I like that rebranding in a way. So obviously, when we kick things off over here, we have the cheapest, the Nano Ledger S Plus. You can see that over here. Now, that was actually my first Ledger hardware wallet. In fact, first ever hardware wallet I got. And I was quite nervous when I got it, how to use it. It took me a while to get used to it. And while it looks very simple, right, it only has 2 buttons over here. Essentially, it pretty much does similar things as all the other ones. So don't get scared by the low price that you get a less secure device. This is actually not the case. However, one big thing I will have to mention here is it is definitely less user-friendly and convenient. Now, first of all, obviously, it doesn't have a battery, so you can't press it on. If you're not connected via USB-C cable, then you can't use the device, which can also be a benefit, right? Because some of the other devices I have over here, they usually need to be charged. Now, you can also plug them in and use them, but usually they're supposed to be used without a cable connection. So that way you have to make sure they are charged, even though the charge stays for a long time. I haven't charged them for a while. I still have battery, so that's good. Now, when I say it's less convenient, maneuvering around it with those 2 buttons, confirm with pressing both of them at the same time, it really is painful. Now, the first time you set it up, obviously you're going to have to do it. But if you ever had to restore on such a thing, which I did, using my 24 seed phrase to restore my Ledger hardware wallet, it was rather tedious. Now, obviously, you're not going to do this every other week, right? Hopefully you don't. You remember your PIN code. But even the PIN code, right? When you start it up to approve a transaction, you have to put in your 6-digit PIN code, or I think even 8-digit PIN code. And that alone takes time. So if you do approve a lot of transactions regularly, then this really becomes quite tedious, I must say. Now, on the same line, we have another classic signer we have over here for backup use, right? And that's the Ledger Nano X. That, I think, was the first device. However, honestly, while it is now on 50% discount, I would actually not really recommend it for a simple reason. Is the certified secure element is the lowest one out of all of them. You can see all of them have the CC EAL6+. Obviously right now that's the highest standard. However, that one only has the 5. Now I'm sure it's still secure. I'm not a security specialist in terms of chips, but obviously the fact that it is slightly less secure than the newer versions already for me, just doesn't give me the confidence to go with it. So if I was to buy one, I really want to save money and just want to get into it, get a feel for it, then sure, you might want to go with the Ledger Nano S Plus. But at this stage, I really wouldn't go for the Ledger Nano X. Now, if you have it, that's fine. Maybe later on you want to upgrade to a newer device. But if you buy your first one, that really wouldn't be my first pick. So if you really want, one, to hold your cryptocurrency for a long period, not planning to sign regularly, then you could really go for this backup use. In this case, I would recommend the Ledger Nano S Plus. I have mine now for many years. It still works. It regularly comes up with software upgrades inside the Ledger Live app, which is a great app. I have it on the phone, I have it on the Mac. It seamlessly syncs with each other, so it's really nice. So I really can recommend it. It still works perfectly well as it did from day one. Now with this, we move to the touchscreen versions and devices that recently came on board. And I think it's a really nice move because for some of us, we might actually use that much more to sign more transactions or even log in to email and other social media platforms, because you can use those devices as a security key. You know, when you log into Gmail, you can connect it not via 2FA, but you could use a security key and your Ledger device can function as that, which is really, really cool. So you have basically three options. Now we had the Ledger Flex, that was the first one that came out as a touchscreen device. Then they recently added the Ledger Stax over here. And the most recent one is the Ledger Nano Gen 5. Now, I did not try that out myself, so I can't really comment on it, but it looks quite similar in many ways to the Ledger Flex. Now, this one is more plasticky and obviously cheaper looking in a way, but in terms of screen size, is actually the same screen size as the one we have over here on the Flex. That's this one over here. Again, I've been using it now for about a year and honestly, really, really happy with it. Yes, the screen is slightly smaller than the Ledger Stax, but it really makes things so much easier. You can see it's a touchscreen. I can just punch in the numbers, my PIN code, unlock it, approve transactions. It's just much more easy to use. And yeah, obviously the battery life is great. The last time I charged it, honestly, it must have been 6 months ago at least. Really crazy battery life. Then again, I don't use it on a daily basis, right? I use it once in a while whenever I move some funds around, but usually I don't use it that often. So yeah, I think the Ledger Flex and the Ledger Nano Gen 5 are very similar in many ways. They do many of the same things. The screen size is the same. One is 16 grayscale, the other one monochrome. The resolution seems to be slightly better on the Ledger Flex. But again, you know, when it comes to approving transactions, that's not really a major difference here. Here it comes down to personal preference, but if you want to make the leap to a touchscreen device but don't want to shell out too much money, then the Ledger Nano Gen 5 could actually be a good option. Now the good thing is with Ledger Flex, if you want to customize it a little bit, you can change over here the look and feel of it, which is cool, right? If you're a Bitcoin maxi like myself, you could kind of brand it like in Bitcoin colors or any of the other ones over here. So that's unique to the Ledger Flex. I really like the device. As I said, I've been using it now for a year and really happy with it. Now on the top end, we come to the Ledger Stax. Now I'm currently based in the UAE, so that's why the prices are shown to me in dirhams. Obviously, if you use my link, you'll come to your respective country's page, so that will be converted to the respective country's currency. But yeah, that's around 400 euros, which, you know, can be quite substantial for a Ledger hardware wallet. So if your cryptocurrency portfolio is around $5,000 or $10,000, euros, whatever, then honestly, spending that much on a hardware wallet probably is overkill at this stage. You might be better off just starting with the Ledger Nano S Plus or Ledger Nano Gen 5. But if you're serious about investing more and more and grow your portfolio, maybe it's already 6 figures or even 7 figures, then I think it's justified to invest into such a device because it really is incredible. I mean, when you feel it, it really has a luxurious feel for it. You can see over here, even on the side. So it's almost like a bookshelf. You can have a couple of them. You can see which one is for which. So that's really nice. And they even got this magnetic cover. So I can just pop it in here and it protects the screen. So I can travel with it, chuck it in my bag, whatever. Really, really nice. The big screen is really a joy to use, even compared to the Flex, which I first had, but then I upgraded a few months ago to the Stax. And yeah, I mean, it's a really beautiful device. So if you do plan to use it on a daily basis, maybe to sign into social medias or any other important accounts, as I said, right? You can do that with those devices, then it definitely makes sense, right? Because it is really much more convenient and easy to enter your password and confirm transactions. Or if you're sending crypto around a lot, or maybe you work in a company that pays with crypto and you have to prove it constantly, then I would highly, highly recommend you to get a Stax. If you're just getting into crypto, you want to first time move from the crypto exchange to a hardware wallet and want to start with Ledger, then in this case, I probably wouldn't recommend you to go with the Stax right away. Maybe Ledger Nano Gen 5 or even Ledger Nano S Plus to get you started. And later on, you can always add another one. Maybe you live between different countries like I do myself. Then maybe you want to have one hardware wallet in one country, another one in the second country. You kind of spread your funds a little bit. So these are options that you have available. So generally, except for Ledger Nano X, I can really recommend all of them. I hope to get my hands on the Ledger Nano Gen 5. So if I do, I'll obviously make a review here on my channel to show you how it operates, how it feels, and so forth. But apart from that, if you want to save money, start with Ledger Nano S Plus. Still many years later, it still works flawlessly well. Or then, of course, if your budget allows, you can also upgrade yourself to a nice touchscreen. Ultimately, in terms of safety and security, they all operate pretty much exactly the same, with the exception of the Ledger Nano X, which I would not recommend due to the slightly less secure security element. The rest are pretty much on the same level, and I can generally recommend them. And also one thing I do want to recommend you, usually when you set up your Ledger device, you're going to be giving 24 words, random words that are your passphrase to unlock your crypto basically, right? Whoever finds those words can unlock your wallet and drain it, right? So it's very important to look after it. That's essentially what those devices do. They protect your seed phrase. The good thing is with Ledger, with all of them, you can add a 25th one. And that's just added security, because let's imagine worst case scenario, somebody breaks into your house and threatens you to give out your cryptocurrency and ask for your 24 words. Well, then you could actually give it to them, because that way they would only have access to one part of your wallet. And I would recommend you to have some funds in there, maybe 10%, maybe 15% of your total holding you have in that specific wallet. And they think that's all your funds. They will drain it. You will lose a little bit of your money, but you're still alive. But the good thing is you will still have your majority of your funds, because that's protected with the 25th word. But not many people are aware about it. Only you know the 25th word. Don't write it down anywhere. This is the one word you're going to have to remember in your head. And this unlocks another wallet where you have then the majority of your funds. That's very important. The good thing is all of those Ledger devices do support that. All right, friends, hope you found this video useful. If you have any questions about any of the Ledger devices I spoke about today, or any other hardware wallet related questions, pop them in the comments down below. Happy to hear from you. Next up, check this video right here. As always, thanks for watching. Stay healthy, get wealthy. See you in the next one. Ciao.